internal marination on this particular chicken. We're going to keep this chicken whole, and then once he's roasted, we're going to break it down and debone it and make it really, really easy to eat. Because to me, great food, what makes it great food is the fact that it tastes really good, it's a unique flavor that you probably can't find nowhere else, and the fact that it's easy to eat. And if we can accomplish that, I'll say mission accomplished. And that's what we're going to shoot for with this injected chicken. So we're not going to do much cutting on him. We're just going to clean him out first, because he's still got a little frost on him. I like mine with a little frost, because then they're not slimy and they typically don't bleed all over everything. You're going to put some of the ice out of them. And chickens, you got to kind of get aggressive with them, because they clean them, but then they turn and stuff everything back in them. So you got to get all the goodies out of it. And he's still a little frozen. And this is what turned most people off. But I say just hold your breath, it don't last long. And then we're going to take and trim him up a little bit first. That's just straight fat, chicken fat, which is okay in a stock, but you don't want to eat that straight away. That's killer. Okay, so we got him. We're going to square him up a little bit. And then we got a couple of things we're going to do to him. We have a little solution in here. This is a homemade concoction that I make that gives me the flavor profile I'm looking for, because what I want is a strong flavor, but I don't want it where it burns all the way down. What I'm looking for is I'm hoping to get a strong flavor that savory, that has a little spice to it. You don't miss the salt, because there's no salt in any of this. And just a flavorful dish, and hopefully memorable. So first thing we're going to need, this is the injection fluid. This is the injector. Real simple. You can get them anywhere. Feed, Walmart, virtually any place, any grocery store, they all have. And it's no special one you need. It don't have to be Tony's or anybody else. Just a hypodermic needle that's big enough so your spices will come out of it. They make this more complex than it really has to be. And then you just treat it like you would a hypodermic needle. Submerge the hole, pull the plunger. Might have to lean it a little bit. It's a little tricky until you get used to it. And it don't have to be perfect. And it don't matter if you get air bubble in there either. The chicken's already good. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna first shoot the thighs up. So we're gonna go right in that thigh, right around that joint, and we're gonna give it about half of what you see in there. Just a little bit. You don't have to overdo it. And we're gonna hit that other one right in the thigh too. And he'll seal up. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a little bit more of this. And if you think your solution, if you taste your solution is a little strong, just add water to it. That'll do it. But this ain't something you really need a lot of oil in and that kind of thing. Just water and whatever seasoning you got. Then we're gonna find under this breast, and we're gonna shoot it back up in the breast. We're gonna put one nice full plunger in this breast. So that chicken's gonna be marinated from the inside up. That's our plan. I'm gonna take a little bit more of this. Guess I'm not much of a doctor. Okay, so we got that. I'm gonna hit this other breast. Put him in the front. Because you notice I'm trying to be leery of the skin. And you'll see him puff up a little bit. That's that moisture you're putting up in there. Moisture and flavor. That's what we're shooting for. So we got thighs, legs, and thighs already. Now we got the breast. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit these wings a little bit. Just right in the thick part of the wing. And give them a little shot. And then hit right in the. If it squirt a little out, that ain't going to hurt nothing. Just squirt a little bit in there till you see him bulge. You can see it in there. It'll move around. Because we're going to massage him a little bit too. Okay, and we're going to come at the bottom of this chicken, under the skin, and give it a little shot. Just shoot him up. It ain't no real special way. I just try to hit all the parts of the chicken so, you know, you get an even flavor throughout. Because it'll move around as it cooks. You'll find it all streaks of seasoning in it. Okay, this is your chicken here. We're going to take this. We're going to add these little scrap pieces to our stock pot. get them out of here. You can get all of it. That's all the flavor. Get the air out of them, roll them back up. As long as you're doing the chicken, you keep adding to that. See, you get a nice big time. Okay, so we're gonna rinse this out. Come back. Straighten up a little bit. Put our chicken in there. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is, what makes the skin crispy is the fact that the skin is dry. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first dry this. We're gonna put a little bit of seasoning on there, and then we're gonna, whatever stays on there when I've had it dry, that's what's gonna cook on there. Everything else is under the skin. Okay, and the moisture we already put in, maybe a quarter cup of moisture in, so this chicken's gonna be moist. And so now the marination process has started. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first take a dry towel and we're gonna dry this chicken. Get the water off of them first. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna pour this right on there. Just like that, and we're gonna massage that in. Okay, just like that. So that's putting that flavor in that skin. And then we're not gonna cover it during the marination process because we want that skin to dry out with the seasoning on it. We don't want it wet like this when we go to roast it, because what it'll do is it'll steam instead of get crispy. Because we can baste this, once it starts cooking, we can baste it with oil, and that'll make it with like olive oil, or if you're not calorie conscious, if you're thin like me, then you can use butter. But olive oil will do the same thing. It'll give you the same crispiness and the same basic flavor as butter. It's just butter does it quicker. That's the only difference. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the refrigerator just like this. We're not going to cover it during the marination process because I want the refrigerator to kind of dry the chicken out. That's the game plan with the seasoning that I just rubbed on there. Okay? Because this chicken ain't going to be hot. This chicken going to be flavorful. And that's the goal. It's going to have spice to it, but it's not going to be hot.